So good evening, friends. I'm Kuya Yan, and today I'm going to react on Charlie Broke YouTube Yesterday by Some Ordinary Gamers. And yeah, I don't have anything to say, so let's get right into it.
Hello, guys and gals, me Mutahar, and Charlie broke YouTube yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. He uploaded a video called "I'm Not Turning It Back On," and I thought for a second, whoa, the website wasn't even working well yesterday. I think
it was pretty interesting because the moment I tried to log in on YouTube during this time, usually it's so weird because I error video playback or something. It was so bizarre. Like I never seen that on YouTube since I was like 2007. I think it's crazy.
Down Detector had like 400,000 goddamn results about it. Like just people reporting YouTube is down. And you tried watching a video on your mobile. It was just constant looping. The videos wouldn't even load up. Error 404. Errors that I've never even seen before started popping. Obviously, I think somebody at YouTube probably pushed something wrong to the server and they scrambled to fix it. But I'm going to use the funny example and say that, Moist Critical ended up taking down the actual site very briefly. But why was this a situation that kind of broke the internet yesterday? It's actually something that I kind of want to talk about because I have been seeing this.
That would be very fascinating if Charlie single-handedly destroyed the internet.
Happen so much over the course of years, just to see YouTube evolve, and how people accept things. Like it used to be back in the day that taking a sponsor was like a grave sin. It used to be back in the day that if you were a live streamer on Justin TV or anything of that nature, if you took even donations from your actual community, that would just be one of the worst sins you could ever do on YouTube.
I think it's not pretty normalized to have some ways to get profit using advertising nowadays, I think. And to me, it's I would be very interesting, what I would make into an ad someday, hopefully if I can grow my YouTube. So hopefully you can subscribe to my videos, okay? Please subscribe to my videos. I really want to at least 1K, man. At least 1K. At least 1K for during this year, I think, or even tomorrow. No, tomorrow. Next year, hopefully I can get at least 1K, man. But it is pretty. It's pretty hard
on the internet in general. And now it's in order to make it sustainable for the average creator, for the average person, or somebody starting out, they really do rely on Patreons, donations, and everything. But you know who's exempt from that list? Some of the biggest players in the game, people that are making millions, hundreds of thousands of views and everything on and so forth. Now, the thing is, I'm always one of those people where when it comes to greed, by instance, I think greed is one of the worst sins that you can have. Greed, what is it? Gluttony, almost in a lot of ways, right? Where you just constantly have to have more and more and more, and you just can never be happy with what you have. Now, Charlie showcased his earnings yesterday, and for YouTube, it was $35.8 million in the lifetime. Now, obviously, that includes everything: watch page ads, shorts ads, supers and gifts, affiliate programs, and connected stores. And if you add in Twitch, I think it's $4 to $5 million. So
damn, I don't know. Moist Critical's a fucking millionaire. God damn.
Overall, the guy made $40 million, which pales in comparisons, I'm pretty sure, to his Hunger Games royalty checks. Obviously, this is some good, you can buy a few cartons of eggs, if you will, in today's day and age. But
I'm pretty sure not a couple of eggs. I'm pretty sure I think a container size, or maybe almost a ship, I think. Or maybe every atoms of this universe, you can buy every atoms in this universe is equivalent to all eggs that Charlie can buy.
That's not a small amount of money, okay? It's a pretty good chunk of change to have. It's generational wealth. It's life-changing money. It's money that if you have it, you probably couldn't burn through every single bit of it. Your kids could probably not burn through every single bit of it. And your grandkids could probably not burn through every single bit of it.
True.
Unless, of course, inflation takes the most sky-high fucking route ever, or you give birth to absolute degenerate offspring that will just burn through your fucking wealth pool.
Invest into Bitcoin, I think, at that point. You're just gonna sink your money into that, earning nothing, absolutely nothing, I guess.
By buying the most obnoxiously stupid shit.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I've always admired about Charlie Asmongold, and really it's one of the things that I feel kind of tethers, me to the earth.
It's these three are my what do you call it? The try of YouTube. I think that's the word. I usually just watch Some Ordinary Gamers, aka Murahar, Gold, even like Charlie, Moist Critical. Those are like my three favorite top YouTubers that I mostly watch every single day.
And a lot of stuff is that, at the end of the day, these are people that can make a substantial amount of cash, and ultimately it never really changes their life. For me, I was happy when I made substantially less, and I was still happy when I made money. Now, money is never something that makes you more happier than anything. If you're somebody that's
Yeah.
happy within the means that you live in, meaning that you're happy with the people around you. For me, dude, all I love to do is maybe buy an extra game console every year and play a couple video games. For me, that's where my luxuries sort of stop.
So that makes me wonder, like, what if you are a millionaire? It's like, what do you even buy? For me, it's like, if I get a millionaire, I'll probably just invest it. Like, I would love to invest it and grow it over time. Maybe I can use it someday. Maybe something. Maybe some type of emergency, I guess, or making some artistic projects. That would be my future stuff that I would love to do if I have like the money and time. Time and money is usually what I always love. I usually always value time more than money.
Okay. So making any amount of money, even if
So what do you prefer? Like, I would love to read in the comments to see like what you would love to, if you just have a $1 billion tomorrow, what are you going to do? No, would love to read comments about that.
like a fraction of this is already winning. To give you an idea, guys, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that like I read from time to time is how much an average American makes. So apparently, according to the National Library of Medicine and the Social Security Administration, the lifetime earnings of a US citizen over the age of 50 from 20 to 69, it depends, right? It could be like 1.85 million or 1.1 million for women, right? 1.85 for men, 1.1 for women.
I would love to see like how much, because majority of people nowadays are Gen Z or the younger people, and majority of them are actually suffering. So I don't know. We don't even know like how much they even how much money they even like earn. I don't earn anything. Basically, my mom just gave me like 500 a week. That's it. 500 a week. Imagine.
So obviously, when you look into, again, things like, educational background, if you get like graduate degrees, obviously you're earning up to like 3.05 gross, 2.68 net. And for women, it's 1.86 at gross, 1.69 at net. Okay. So yeah, it's still substantially more money than, people who work their ass off every day and come home. And literally, when I see any streamer on the internet bitch about their life, like, oh, streaming is so fucking tough on me, man. I gotta make a video every now and then.
So it's not easy to make a video every day, especially if you have school or you have like a hobby in the background to do. Like I myself in here, it's really hard to like record a video and edit the video while I am drawing art, while I'm tackling like school. It is not easy.
It's always like, shut the fuck up. You have
Oh, come on, Mudahar. You want me to shut the fuck up? That's kind of sad, bro.
one of the most cushiony lives imaginable, and you're still somehow bitching about it. Now,
Damn.
for anybody that's in like that mid-tier, like lower tier creator, and again, I don't want to say these things to be mean about it, but if you're somebody that's like a average content creator, somebody that it really is, you're kind of living paycheck to paycheck doing this, and or maybe you have some amount of money to save. Taking donations is obviously something that is a pretty like accepted thing these days. It's the only way for this entire platform.
It's a pretty interesting idea to have like a donation. I think I'm kind of planning against it. That's the main reason why I love watching this video. I already watched this video, but I would love to rewatch it to really like see myself in their shoes. Like I would actually not allow myself, and hopefully in the future, to have like any type of donations. Because I really don't like any type of, what do you call this? Any type of I don't know what the word I was trying to like think about it. I kind of like forget about it. But usually I don't want your responsibility for having like give money for me. But it's best to use the money for yourself, and whatever you find something possible. Or if I want to give some money, I at least want to make some kind of product, something, a t-shirt or an art, because usually I draw art. And yeah, just usually buy something that you can hopefully own by yourself and put it on your home, I guess. At least in that case, it's a good business model. But usually, the main reason why I usually don't like donations is because if you give more money from me, it seems like I own something for you, you know what I mean? And it makes me feel a little bit guilty, I guess. Even though like that is pretty weird. But let's continue.
To be sustainable. If you're not somebody that, I guess at this point is streaming almost every day, taking in some donations or subscribers,
True.
then yeah, making sure that your rent payment or mortgage payment or, paying for your groceries is going to be fucking difficult. But not when you're at the top 1% of content creators.
For me, I at least still want to do it. I really don't want to allow myself to have donations unless it's really also like emergency in case, but because maybe there are cases where I really need money, you know. I want to really just do myself. It's my responsibility to, gain some money and hopefully give some kind of product for the people to hopefully get money there. Or if I do need donations, I think it would be best for it to have some kind of emergency or something.
Now, Charlie showed this amount of money, which obviously is pretty mouthwatering to a lot of people, but it's not surprising. Okay. Charlie's been somebody who's at the top of his game. And I'm somebody that's been watching him for quite a long time, even before I actually ever really made content. He was really around on YouTube for a long time. And I think one of the videos that kind of blew him into like, fame was like being on Ray William Johnson. He was playing like Quap or something. And even before then, he was
Yeah, it was a pretty funny like 3D game. It was pretty silly.
like making fucking Gears montages. I'm somebody that has watched him from the beginning, and he's somebody that has absolutely been donating a chunk of his money, especially at the beginning, primarily to charity.
It is kind of crazy. Like Murahar already knew Charlie was already a big YouTuber in the past. So it's kind of crazy, even though he was pretty small at that time, I think. Like he reached like 1 million, and Murahar already know that he used to make Gears of War. So it's kind of crazy, actually.
Now, what Charlie decided to do after showcasing this money is that before he ever uploaded this video, he showcased that he was turning off donations and whatnot to his channel, right? Anything fan-funded. Not necessarily advertisements or channel sponsorships of anything of that nature, but generally the ability for the viewer to give the creator money. Now, honest to God, like, to me, when I look at the history of YouTube content creation, it used to be a grave sin, like I said, in order to take a sponsorship. It used to be a grave sin in order to take money from your family.
I did actually notice that in the past, it is not allowed for you to gain like money or something in YouTube, That's kind of crazy concept, especially for today's day and age where almost everything is like advertised, paid for money, like everything, even like self-product too.
Fans. But now it's for a lot of people in that, day-to-day grind, it is the only sustainable way to keep this a actual career path.
That's the main reason why I also want to start my YouTube, so that hopefully I can grow it in the future to substantially grow my hopefully income or some sort, because I really love YouTube as a hobby. Like I really watch YouTube. Don't know how many YouTube I've been like watching and consuming like almost every day, bro. Like I even skipped class just to watch YouTube. It's such an amazing platform, man. Like there's a lot of communities, there's a lot of people. I really love it. Like I just love people. I watch gaming, watching dark videos, watching documentaries, news. It's crazy. I watch it since I was like in high school. That's how I kind of like grow up in YouTube actually. That's why I would love to step up my game to hopefully set my footing somewhere, the YouTube space. But for now, I'm usually just staying for the reaction channel. I don't know what else plan in the future. Maybe trying to make some commentary, maybe documentary. I usually love Charlie's videos. That's why I kind of love to make some of his videos, but a bit more longer. I love like long videos. Just like long Charlie-based YouTube stuff, I guess. Charlie style videos.
But obviously for Charlie, is like he felt a little bit bad. Now I saw some pretty dog shit takes about this, so I want to kind of read them really quickly. Gets insanely rich, keeps it a secret for many years. Once he knows he's set for life, reveals he's actually a millionaire. The guy acted like it's a Machiavellian plan. Like, bro,
it's also kind of crazy. Like we already know Charlie's a millionaire.
If you couldn't figure out the fact that one of the largest creators on YouTube consistently wasn't already fucking rich or a multimillionaire. It's like going to like a fucking sports game and looking at like one of the biggest players on the field for like one of the biggest teams in the entire brackets and thinking, man, is that guy rich? You know, that actor that
I'm pretty sure I will not be surprised that Murahar in this case is also rich, but it's kind of crazy because he also had a job. YouTube is not his main, I guess, job in this case. He has an alternative job. Like he's doing YouTube and doing something else in the background where he kind of do some engineering stuff. I don't know.
I'm seeing in this big Hollywood production.
So he's pretty like big about it. I don't know why he always keeps secret about like what his second job is. But yeah.
I wonder if that guy's actually rich. You know, I'm beginning to suspect. You know, I'm sorry. Like, I guess for some people, they really have been hitting the stupid branch on the way down on every single fucking step. Guys, I feel bad. Disables monetization to make it look like he's a saint, which proves no matter what you do on the internet, you can't make everyone happy. So at some point, you have to realize you can either crash and burn or just stop giving a fuck.
That's kind of like a bad advice, I think. Like, if you don't give a fuck, like, can be like all of those dead YouTubers nowadays. They're not like literally dead. Their channel is dead usually. But basically, if they can't like take any type of criticism, I think the best advice I would give for YouTubers, I don't know, I'm still a new YouTuber. But I think it's always best to not believe, to know who you are, to know what you value in the future, so that no matter how much people would say about you, you know, you're the only one who knows more about yourself and what you value, and you follow that road, you know. Because if people will try to, you know, say anything about you, just basically ignore them because you know who you are. And the third thing, I think it's best to also listen to people, especially like criticism and stuff. And I think that's also what I would love to be in the future, you know. I would be by myself, no matter how much people will say. I would open myself in opinions and stuff. But if there's someone who will criticize me, I will try to like listen and learn from them, you know.
Usually stopping giving a fuck is the best way to live. But to go back
sometimes
to the point, obviously there's a lot of misinformation spread about this. You know, people really started going at Charlie's ass. I'm glad he finally realized after making 40 million, it didn't feel right. Incredible bravery. Now, the thing about it is, he's not turned off the ads on his channel. It literally is just fan funding and donations. And the thing about it is, it's something that I do tend to agree. Now, I don't know if you guys have been noticing it.
I agree
Especially
too.
if you're like a creator. You probably notice that YouTube has been pushing you a lot in order to take like memberships and donations and any of that. Not donations necessarily, but making like members only content. And I don't know how valuable it is. Again, I only do YouTube necessarily because like it is just a fun thing at the end of the day. Like it is just a place for me to, that's why my videos are kind of.
I can actually like follow the values of like Charlie and my and you know some ordinary gamers with Murahar. Because I really love to only have like YouTube as a hobby, hopefully as a hobby, or if it does get a lot of money, maybe I can turn it to a job. But even to that case, I don't feel safe when it comes to YouTube. Like it's so volatile and like it's pretty risky. Like you really just prioritize everything in, you know, YouTubing as like your job and things. I kind of like would love to diversify my passion, hobby, and job, you know.
Just like me talking to the camera and having a good time. But
Yeah.
I've never been one to necessarily jump into the nitty gritty of the algorithm, so to speak. I mean, I understand it, obviously doing it for so long. But one of the things that YouTube has pushed is something about like members only content where like, you know, they want to get people into like this members only gated community for themselves, which I guess maybe YouTube's trying to like cash in onto the Patreon market in some capacity. But for me, I just don't understand the concept of making content on the internet and amassing, you know, a following and then immediately putting up content that is paywalled.
Yeah, I don't like that too. That's why I actually started like a Patreon, and then I kind of realized I actually feel very bad. Like so weird to like hide your content from a paywall. It's so weird.
Even if it's a limited time paywall, so that most of your obvious fan base can't watch the footage,
Yeah.
watch the content until you decide to somewhat.
As I said, this cannot apply for other people, of course. If they want their channel or content to be paywalled, they paywalled it, right? But for me, it's like personally, I don't like it.
Release it down the road. I feel like putting up
It only applies to me, of course.
artificial monetary roadblocks is so pointless because ultimately, at the end, I would say instead of being a member to my channel or donating to me, it might be better for you to just buy YouTube Premium so that you can help the entire YouTube ecosystem.
yeah, it's best to like buy YouTube Premium so that YouTube can hopefully, gain some money and hopefully improve their website and stuff. And secondly, even if I do have like a membership, like a video and stuff, to just paywall it, the, what's the point of fun in that? I thought it's like all about, I guess, for the content. Hopefully in the future, I really pray myself so that I don't, fall into greed and stuff. And hopefully I just do YouTube for fun, sake of fun, hopefully. Because it is pretty scary to like be in that position where you're greedy and you don't care anymore. It's kind of crazy to, it's scary to see myself from that point.
System and get more benefits onto your account on the platform globally, as opposed
Yes.
to just one channel on the internet.
Yeah.
Now, it's something that I obviously understand. Like, fans love to support content creators. There's almost like a parasocial, like, sort of hook that people put into their audience, where I guess it's like, hey, supporting me is cool. You're part of this community, part of a family. But ultimately,
Our ship, part of the crew. But usually, I would love you to be parasocial to me so that you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, hopefully.
in the end, if you're a top tier content creator, especially somebody at the levels of Moist Critical,
And it is pretty weird still, like you still watching this if you are already like far to this video already. I mean, thank you for still watching and, give me a chance to, I guess, make this video for you to hopefully watch, because I don't even like gain a lot of viewers as I think. But it is still interesting, like why does it always makes you wonder like what the algorithm or like the people would even want when it comes to watching videos. Do they put me in the background? Are you like listening this in the background while you're doing some stuff? It is kind of interesting.
again, he's not even the largest. You've got people far larger than him, like Asmongold, for instance. You want to talk about like really, really effective monetization of your YouTube platform? You're probably looking at tech channels like Linus, for instance, where it's just done at a far more efficient and much more grand level than you can imagine.
I think it's more corporatized.
Right? When you start to see content creators have like teams, or just content creators that are amassing a massive amount of viewership, it really should not be a shock to you that they're living far better. They're earning far more than most people could ever imagine. It's kind of like looking at the entertainment industry and looking at somebody making like 50, $60 million on a contract and going, whew, that is more money than I will ever see in my life. And it makes no sense to think, let me give that person $20, $50, or $100. It's one of the things where I 100% vehemently agree with Charlie. And I feel like the only people that are getting mad about this are probably individuals who are also top streamers as well, that love that parasocial hook where it's like, give me your Twitch primes, give me, I don't know if YouTube has an equivalent YouTube Prime thing, but give me your Twitch primes, give me donations, let's run sub marathons. One of the goofiest things that I've ever seen is when like super large streamers run like subathons, where again, it's mostly just boiling down to e-begging in front of their audience to run these sub trains, when really subathons are mostly meant for like, the average content creator who literally is doing this almost paycheck to paycheck. For them, it's literally, hey, let me spend like 4 or 5 a week of making content, being on stream, being the professional bozo that I am. Because at the end of the day, every single one of us on YouTube, regardless of what your ego says or not, we are all just fucking clowns, okay? We are all clowns that got supremely lucky doing what we do on the internet.
Crazy lucky.
Simple as that. And whatever money we...
It's kind of crazy because in the past, I don't actually like believing that, success always comes to being lucky. That's why I always like try to work hard. But eventually I kind of realized it does matter, like luck really just play a big role. And I think luck and the way you do it every day, I guess, in this case, will give you like success. Like if you don't do it every day, you lower your chances or don't even get the chance to even get lucky in the first place. That's why I kind of love making and starting this YouTube channel, so that hopefully, eventually if I do it every day, maybe someday I'll get some success, hopefully.
Do make, no matter how literal or small, is something that we should always be completely fucking thankful for. And, ultimately the end, it's never the audience's responsibility to provide a living for the actual content creator. At the end of the day, if you can't make it work, in my opinion, without like, if you can't make it work on your own, this probably isn't the place for you. And again, if, you are...
That is so painful, man. I don't want to like hear that. I really want to find some kind of success, like I don't want to give up just because, because I really love YouTube. I really want to do this, hopefully in the future. And I really just want to, hopefully chill and just make content, maybe react, maybe give some thoughts out there. That's it. Maybe gaming. It would be very fun to like do that. I even like enjoy talking to you because I have no friends, fortunately. So this is the only way I can hopefully express myself. And it is pretty sad. But it is pretty fun. That's why I also love watching like a lot of people, what their opinion are. Because those are the only people that I kind of like used to know, especially Mutahard here too. I have like no social group in real life. Majority of the time I don't even like speak up. That's why I kind of struggle speaking too, because I just don't speak a lot in real life. I just find my way to express on the internet, I guess. I'm even like lucky to even like speak aloud out of my thoughts.
Somebody that's sitting there and you are streaming and earning donations, there's a big difference between the average content creator that needs the donation very clearly to pay their rent versus obviously guys like Charlie that are earning millions of dollars a year. Even somebody like me, I'm not anywhere near like Charlie's, I would say, like viewership or any of that stuff. But even for me, the earnings are in the 6 to 7 figures. So it's like, if you're ever wondering, if you're ever wondering,
Wait, so this is the money of Some Ordinary Gamers? That's 3 million. Yeah, this is Some Ordinary Gamers like YouTube channel. He got 1 billion views, 200 million watch time, and he earned 3 million revenue. Crazy. But it does makes me wonder, like, I don't know how much I would even like earn from making all of this on YouTube. But hopefully, it would be enough for me to earn that. It's kind of, I do also fear because I think in my country, they kind of make a new law that actually tax a lot of, content creators here in my country. So it is pretty scary.
Muda, can I give you the money? You don't really ever need to. In fact, if anything, I'm probably the one that is least needing of money. Okay. Generally speaking, we've earned enough money on this platform in order to invest it properly, in order to make sure it lasts longer than we probably ever will. Okay. Unless, there's some severe financial fuck ups on our end, which is not the audience's responsibility. Again, like I said, like I showed you earlier, when you look at the average American salary, the average American makes $1 to $2 million throughout the course of their life. And for the average content creator, I will tell you right now, especially the largest content creators, they've cleared that amount of money probably in about a year, maybe less than a year, to be real with you. And to see people complain about that, it's one of the reasons why, like, I was really on the crypto scam ass, especially with some really large content creators like a few years ago, mostly because I knew how much I made. I knew how much these people made, and they were still willing to scam their audience with crypto scams. Even though, if you looked at their average AdSense earnings, just the money they made through the course of their lifetime, there would be no reason for them to scam their audience.
Yeah, it's very insidious, like for them to even like scam like a lot of people in this case, even though they're already like rich in this. I don't know what makes them to even like have a lot of money. Like it's kind of crazy to even like think about that.
Other than pure greed and pure gluttony, just pure constant need for money. Ultimately, the end, ladies and gentlemen, Charlie kind of did a soft flex, but ultimately, he really did expose what is a huge, I guess, unknown thing in the creator economy. That, yes, the largest content creators are fucking hella loaded. There's a reason why people like Shaquille O'Neal are salivating looking at some streamers and how much they fucking make. Because even if you take out fan funding, the amount of money made on ad sales, the amount of money made on corporate sponsorships is fucking insane, okay? It is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, that's really what I wanted to say. I wanted to add into this a little bit because
I love when he says, ladies and gentlemen.
it's something that I've seen for God knows how long. I've seen this platform and the online space evolve. I've kind of just grown up with it.
For me too. Like for me, I think it started when it was 2015. I think it was before Elsa Gate. That's probably the time that I watched YouTube from most of my part, I think. Because I think I started watching it from, since I was childhood, basically.
Like seeing us go from like, getting a donation is such a sin to, you know, running entire subathons on our audiences is wild to see. But again, my real issue, and I think Charlie's real issue, and I think most people's real issue, is when you see people at the top kind of like pretend to be in the same financial situation as their fans, or people that, you know, kind of hide the fact that ultimately they are substantially far more well off than their audiences will ever be, and still constantly fucking begging for money and constantly trying to harness those Prime subs. If you want to donate money, donate to a good charitable cause, okay?
Yes.
There's a lot of people in the world that need good food. There's a lot of people in the world that are war torn right now.
Yeah, especially from Palestine, from Ukraine, from Sudan, from, what do you call this? I think, well, I kind of forgot like what country that is. I think it was like Myanmar, yes, Myanmar too. Like there's like a lot of wars. And it's like hopefully you can find the right donations, because there's also a lot of charities that are scammers. So hopefully you can, you know, do some research. Hopefully all of those shitty people are not, you know, shitty, especially from their donation and stuff, because some of them are fortunately, you know, scam. Some charities are scam. Hopefully you can go for the official ones, the big ones, hopefully. And if you do want to have the smaller like charity, I'm pretty sure local charities can hopefully work in this case. So yeah.
That need your assistance and aid. There's a lot of people in the world that just need assistance, and you might as well donate to an actual charity that will give money to people that need it. Or you can always donate that money to a streamer that is not as large as somebody like Moist Critical or somebody like me, even, right? Even though I'm not fucking large in any capacity, but
yeah, same for me too. For me, I really don't want any subscribers now. Right.
You don't have to give money to any of us.
Pretty sure you don't even need to watch me. I just really just prefer to have subscribers, I think.
When in reality, there's a lot more content creators in the middle of the road, people that only ever upload once a month, people that, you know, literally stream to, you know, the hundreds of people that they are thankful for. But, you know, those are the people that need the financial assistance the most. Really, you should be seeking some of those content creators out, seeing if you enjoy their content. And if you are willing to support them financially, then those are the people that obviously deserve that support.
Yes, friends, if you're still watching this, you know, I need some donations right now. Not money, the subscription button, you know. Just need to click the subscription button. That's it. So yeah, friends, that's pretty fun actually. Like I have some thoughts to hopefully share, and there are a lot of things that I can also like do from this video. And there's also an interesting perspective. The main reason why I try to rewatch and, you know, react to this, because it's usually just the idea of not turning on donations and stuff, which is usually very interesting. That's just why I kind of love to prioritize more on making content or making some products, hopefully in the future, to have some money, you know, or if I ever need some kind of support and some donations, hopefully in that case, I always restrict it to the way that I would only do it through emergency stuff, you know. So yeah, thank you, friends. That's kind of crazy you're still watching this, and so you can subscribe by now. You should double check, because sometimes some people, they think that they are subscribed, they're not subscribed. So thank you, friends, and